Before we start the show, I want to quickly plug our socials. Follow us on Instagram at bestyever_pod. Also, we're on Blue Sky, Best You Ever Pod, and on YouTube, Best You Ever Pod. We do share some shorts over there, and you can see our faces. Please email us. Tell us your thoughts, feelings, questions, recipes, jokes, anything that you want to tell us. You can email us to bestyeverpod@gmail.com. But also, follow, subscribe, rate us on Spotify and Apple Pod. All right, let's start the show.
Welcome to Best Year Ever, a movie podcast where each week, one movie at a time, we attempt to answer this very important question. Was 1999 the best year ever for movies? I'm your host, Casey Glenn, and with me is my co-host, the quirky, stubborn, and not so squeamish Jesus Gonzalez. Hi, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not squeamish.
You are very not squeamish.
Yeah.
You do things intentionally to try to make me squeamish.
Do you have words that makes you squirm? Like, is it like moist?
I actually don't. Mm-mm.
Phlegm is another one.
No.
Hey, hold on. Let me see how many. I hope we get hate mail for this one, but like moist.
Oof.
Phlegm.
I knew somebody who really hated the word lunch.
Lunch?
Right?
That is a weird one.
Weird. I agree.
But speaking of lunch and losing it, what are we talking about today? That is a horrible segue, but I'm sticking to it.
We are talking about 1999, Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp.
A very horny movie.
Yes. A very Tim Burton movie.
Yes. God, that guy has issues. I'm gonna say two things back to back, and they're gonna look really bad when I say them back to back. But one, a very horny movie.
Mm-hmm.
If Just of the Fall was my sexual awakening with Brad Pitt, this was my kink awakening.
Okay, heard. Understood.
There were so many, like, why am I turned on by all of this as a 14-year-old little Jesus? But like, I don't know, things just happen.
Wow, okay.
And the other thing is, yeah, Tim Burton has issues. You texted me, why does everyone wants to fuck their mom? Well, no, you texted me, why does every man wants to fuck their mom? And I'm like, what is she talking about? And then you pointed out the flashbacks. I'm like, oh man, oh no,
yep.
Oh no. Why do you ruin things for me, Casey?
You're so welcome.
But before we get into the movie and before we get into the background, let's get into our new segment, Letterboxd.
Woo!
Is that a good name? I still don't know if that's a good name, but I'm sticking to it. So our very own Casey's review, The Headless Horseman should try out for RuPaul's Drag Race, which, you know what? 100%.
And I want to talk very specifically about one moment where, and y'all know my favorite word is cunty. The Headless Horseman is in a door frame and he turns around, and the way he turns around and the way he moves his shoulders and his hand on the door frame, I was like, cunty as hell. So there you go.
Wow, that is very specific.
Yes.
On some top reviews, one by Maria, I relate to Johnny Depp's character because I, too, am a dramatic little bitch. You know what? Yes. Especially when he sees a spider.
Oh my God.
The Johnny Depp panic phases peak
yes.
of his career on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Walken has literally 3 lines in this film. Nah, wah, and who could forget rah.
I was like, he has lines? I'm pretty sure he does. That's nuts.
He was almost 60 years old. He was like 57 or 56 in this movie.
That's crazy.
Also, Johnny Depp was 35 or 36, and Christina Ricci was 19, which is very weird. All right, let's go into the background. So, Sleepy Hollow, with a budget of 70 to 100 million, box office of 207.1 million, directed by Tim Burton, music by the amazing Danny Elfman, edited by Chris Levinson, starring Johnny Depp as Ichabod Crane, Christina Ricci as Katrina Van Tassel, Christopher Walken as the Headless Horseman, and Michael Gambon, Dumbledore, as Baltus Van Tassel. Was
Yes,
it
indeed.
weird to see this Harry Potter slash Lord of the Rings slash Star Wars?
Yeah.
You said reunion in a text, but is that really a reunion because it happened before?
I know it's not a reunion, but in my timeline, technically it is. And it was pretty nutty. But it's also like it kind of tracks because, England is so small, and I feel like you have like 10 actors, and those 10 actors are in everything, And you have some that like make it overseas into like American media, and like you've got 5 of them, maybe. And so it's just like British people just be British,
But yeah, okay. So we didn't. We got way too quick into this, but like you've never seen this movie before, right?
Correct. I've not seen this movie before.
Okay, and I might have overhyped it, as I fucking love this movie. But I'm curious to see what you think at the end. But I've seen this movie tons of times. Rewatching this is the first time I realized how many of those franchises actors are in this movie. And then you say English so small. There's like British and English movies and TV shows. Like you'll see the same actors in Indiana Jones as in Star Wars in the 80s. Like they're all the same. But this is not a British movie, and they're all portraying Dutch settlers, so they're not even English.
Yeah. But you know what? They filmed in England, so there you have it.
But they felt right, because I was like, they do have the English accent, and it doesn't feel wrong. It's one of those things.
Yeah, I forgot about them being supposedly Dutch settlers. Like they could have just dropped that.
Yeah, because the Christopher Walken's a Hessian. He's like a German, although like again, no lines other than rah.
Yeah, they could have just called him anything else.
You being an English major, and knowing all things literature, have you heard or read this short story before?
I have not read the short story before, and I think it's mostly because I did not care for this era of literature in the Americas. So
interesting. I knew about this from the Disney short. It's like 30 minutes. It's honestly 20 minutes too long, but I saw it last night and it's cute. It's dated but cute. At least watch the last 10 minutes. But all right, what do you say we get into the movie?
Yes, I will say really quick though, we know that Johnny Depp is hot in this movie.
Very hot. He's like
this.
He's nerdy hot. I think he started but I feel like started the trope of the nerdy hot guy from the late 90s, early 2000s. And I'm including Milo from the Disney Atlantis movie. Like it's the same character.
Yes. No, I fully agree with you. Interestingly enough, the character, Ichabod Crane, historically is considered to be incredibly unattractive. So Johnny Depp originally offered to add prosthetics to make himself look ugly. But, and I never thought I would say this, thank God Tim Burton stepped in and he said, nope, you're going to stay hot and your character is going to have unattractive qualities. However, those qualities did end up still being attractive. So,
honestly, whatever. Yeah. But we don't start with the attractive Ichabod Crane.
No.
We start with the Van Tassels, and we start with the contract that sparks this whole conspiracy that we don't know is a conspiracy. There's like epic, scary movie while they're doing very mundane things. Do you notice that around this movie? Like all of the scary, big, bombastic music happened when they were just kind of walking down the road or going.
See, there's horror in the mundane.
There's horror. You had. Okay, homeschool.
Say fuck me for.
But yeah, we get a contract, and then we get, I guess, one of the Van Tassel's servants, or was he the Van Tassel? He was the Van Tassel, right? I think.
I'm not gonna lie.
So
this is a web that was hard for me to follow.
it was so unnecessarily convoluted, but I feel like that's like of the era and of Tim Burton of the era too. But this old guy, it was the old man of all the late 90s movie. Like he was just the old dude that you would hire for an old dude role.
I love it.
But he's going down in this spooky carriage to the spooky music. You do see a cameo of sorts of Jack from Night Before Christmas. That's like the scarecrow.
I did love that.
100% Jack.
Oh, for sure.
Which it was very cute. And then the driver is kind of nervously going down the road, and then you kind of hear the galloping, and then you see some blood. I remember, I think they for sure corrected it for streaming. Did you watch this on Amazon? Yeah, I remember the blood being very orange.
Yes, I'm so glad you mentioned this.
Okay.
So the movie, or the exteriors were shot with a blue filter, supposedly. So I don't know how this like ended up still being orange for you, but for the blood to appear red, the liquid used had to be bright orange.
I remember it being orange, so
That's
I don't
crazy,
know if, because I obviously watch this more in VHS and DVDs. I think I do have the DVD somewhere. So I don't know if it was the transferring was corrected in a way that it got rid of that blue filter, so then the blood was very orange. But for streaming, it looked great. It still looked very gooey.
Yes, but it was
very syrupy.
Yes, but it was great. I loved it because it wasn't too much like blood that it made me squeamish.
It was 100% a cartoon throughout.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you get scared at one point in this movie? I did. I feel like there's a couple of very messed up deaths.
See, the deaths, whatever, don't care. It's like, they were
not even the cute redhead kid. Oh, okay. Although it's a redhead, they don't have souls. It's fine.
Yeah, it was whatever.
Hi, Jean-Ann.
There is at one point where things were very tense and the movie was loud and we have surround sound and Samuel came downstairs and I had no idea and he just grabbed my face. Oh my God, I jumped. I was terrified. So that was the moment I got scared. Not because of the movie.
And I told you to listen to the surround sound. Like this was, like it did, right? Like it merited like a good. Yeah. Because I told Casey she was traveling. She went to a very nice place that I'm not jealous at all. And I told her not to watch it on the flight. Not because of any energy, but because this is a very beautiful, very like, the sound design is amazing. So you need to watch it with surround sound and like with a big screen. So I'm glad you did.
Thank you.
So anyway, I guess this is the old man Van Tassel gets decapitated. You don't see the horseman. Because throughout the first 2-second act, you don't really know if it's supernatural or not. There's which I kind of like.
I fully agree.
So the you from the start that you think it was going to be a supernatural kind of thing?
No, and I was kind of like 50-50 on it until there's a moment later on. Spoiler alert for like 15 minutes later. But it's more than that. But basically they tease Ichabod and they act like the Headless Horseman. And at that moment I was like, oh, this is actually a supernatural thing. There was something about it that like it clicked. I was like, okay, this will be supernatural.
So, because I think they did that to make you think that it wasn't going to be supernatural, but that red herring triggered you just knowing how movies work.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so. I think that's what happened.
Yeah. So anyway, we got to New York, and immediately we got to Constable Crane, Ichabod Crane. I love that. I love that name. They should come back, Ichabod.
No, but sure.
Casey, can you name your second child, the middle child? I want to know what's going to care about Ichabod. Please, can you please?
I have a family member who wants to name their son Virgil.
It's a great name.
No, it's not.
Yes.
That kid is going to get bullied. Virgil the Virgin.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
No.
Yeah.
Not cool.
It's a great name. I fully support that.
No, we're cutting this because I don't need that person
Hey,
until I feel like they
I
can
want
name
I
a kid
want
that.
Calixto to come back. Calixto's a great name.
Okay, no, that is cool. That's cool as fuck. I am aligned.
Xochitl is another great name, which is for girls, which means flower.
I like that.
But yeah, Ichabod. We meet Ichabod. He finds a body in the river. He's a man of science. He wants to investigate it. And the other guy, like the sergeant or whatever, he's like, well, it was found in the river, so the cause of death is drowning. Zero scientific investigation there. Kind of setting up that very much Ichabod is all about reasons and facts. And he doesn't believe in anything other than that. But the world hasn't quite caught up to this. By the way, this is 1799. So
the guy that he talks to,
yes,
I swear that looks like the same man that is his dad. Are they played by different actors?
Yes.
They look so similar to me.
Yeah, they do. I mean, old white man. Like, yeah,
so true.
No, because the guy he talks to, but he's like character actor from the 90s and early 2000s. Dad, I don't recognize him as much, but he had a great like bad guy face. But speaking of dads, we cut to the jury to a court, and there's a trial, and I think Ichabod is the lawyer, or he's acting there as trying to defend someone. I don't know what he's doing there. It was a very weird scene because I think he was just there to have Christopher Lee, who was Johnny Depp's dad in Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
Yeah. And for some reason, this is where Christopher Lee, who is the judge, gives Ichabod in mid-trial the assignment to go to Sleepy Hollow. Why?
What is very crazy about this, once again, spoiler, but it's relevant. You never see him again. There's never a full circle moment in the slightest. It is just go prove yourself.
It feels like something that kind of was left in the editing room, editing floor. But honestly, I don't care. I just was happy to see Christopher Lee. Every time Christopher Lee is on screen, it's amazing.
Well, apparently he also credits this movie as vitalizing his career.
Yeah. So after this was episode 2, and
we love to see it.
And then Lord of the Rings, and then my favorite fun fact about Lord of the Rings is that when not just kidding, I was gonna say,
I was like, don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it.
We're never going to kick. No. This is a real one. So spoiler for Lord of the Rings, Saruman gets stabbed in the back and then dies. Oh, and then gets pushed off or whatever. And Peter Jackson was directing Christopher Lee on how to react. Christopher Lee, being a veteran, being in wars, being a badass, doing things that we don't know, we don't want to know he did. He's like, well, that's not actually how people react when they get stabbed in the back. Actually, he starts to explain how it happens very specifically. And he said, because the lung escapes your air escapes your lungs, and you can't really scream. It's just a silent death. I'm like, yeah, because he would know. Anyway, Christopher Lee, badass.
Yeah. Damn. That's when men went to war. Ugh.
That's when men went to war. And now I have my nails painted in spring colors and a very beautiful, cute, bleached blonde hair.
No, you killed it. You did great. Touching it up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Ichabod gets the assignment. Oh, by the way, I think another reason there was a trial is just for this line that Ichabod, that Johnny Depp said. Christopher Lee says something like, "What do you stand for?" And Ichabod responds, "I stand up for sense and justice." Perfect. A lot of perfect quotes. So we get Ichabod packing up, and you see also his scientific instruments, and then he has like a little cardinal, which is a returning motif in a cage, and he lets it off free. Might it be a metaphor? Who knows? Maybe.
Okay, really quick. This is interesting. This cardinal bird.
Yes.
So apparently, I don't know if this is true, but at the time of filming, there was only one cardinal bird in all of England. And of course, this is where they shot the movie. And Obviously, they weren't allowed to use it because there's only one. So originally, they tried to pass off a dyed pigeon, and they dyed it red, and they, try to scuff up its feathers to, make it look like a cardinal. Obviously, that didn't work.
The 90s were fucking wild.
Yeah. Like, if if you have general common knowledge, there's no way to make a pigeon look like a fucking cardinal, like in the slightest. So, love that they gave it their best shot, but obviously that's not what they did. Where
are you getting? To that information.
Fair enough, but it's a funny story.
So anyway, we get this montage of Ichabod Crane travels, and I do love all of the again, epic scary music with like just him traveling, but the way they treat the copy on this with a fog, and like this is kind of impressive from 1999. Like, you didn't have a lot of computing simulations. Like, I don't know how they did this, but it looked really well. Love all that. You kind of see a little bit of nervous acting from Johnny Depp, which is always great.
Yes.
He gets to Sleepy Hollow, the town. He's walking down the street and everyone's closing their doors. Very typical, but you gotta have it. It's one of those things that it just has to happen. You get a few glimpses of some of important characters. You get who's going to become the first death of this movie. The dad of who's going to become Ichabod's apprentice, ward, whatever, setting up on like a tower for a lookout. Then Ichabod walks down to the Van Tassel mansion, and you see someone making out with someone, like people making out in the dark, who happens to be Emperor Palpatine.
They always ask if Emperor Palpatine really fucked, and it turns out yes.
Emperor Palpatine fucked. His wrinkly penis.
Yeah.
For all the uncircumcised. We're in the party. There's a party in the mansion for some reason. There's been 3 deaths of pretty prominent people. I'm not sure why there's a party, but there's a party. And I think it's just to have Christina Ricci, aka Katrina Van Tassel, doing a kind of silly game, the Pickety Witch, which is blindfolded. And it's just going to kiss someone. We think she's going to kiss Brom, who's the going to become Ichabod Crane's rival, but she picks Ichabod Crane and kisses him on the cheek. I like how dismissive he is about this whole thing. How dismissive, Johnny Depp is doing a great I'm always scared acting, and I'm always nervous acting, and I'm always squeamish acting. But he's also doing like, I know I'm better than you, so I'm not going to waste my time with you.
Yeah, or like I know this isn't, or I believe this isn't gonna like go anywhere, so I'm just gonna like ignore that it happened, is more of the vibe that I get. But I don't
have time for this shit.
Yeah, Brom looks, or I say the other way around. Oh my god, what's his name? I just had it. Theo Von. Theo Von looks like Brom. Anytime I saw Brom, I was like, Theo Von is in this movie. Do you know who Theo Von is?
No, probably do. Oh.
He has a great TikTok sound. Makes you want to kick a fat kid at Kmart.
First of all, I hate that guy. Second of all,
but they kind of look similar, right?
No, they don't.
No, they do. Straight up.
Okay, you youth. I hate you so much. You're so young. I hate you. I hate this. Okay, so Casper Van Dien does not look like that dude.
No, Brom Van Brunt or whatever.
No, Casper Van Dien. Casper Van Dien, who's the actual actor's name, who sounds like it would be a name from that era. Oh my god. Oh, no, 100%. That's the actor.
That's funny.
So he's from Starship Troopers. Casey, you need to watch Starship Troopers. He's one of those dudes that, like, I don't know why he didn't become more famous. Like, he was on his way to become famous, and he just didn't.
No, straight up, they look similar.
They do not. I'm gonna hard disagree with this. But are you
saying white men don't look all the same? You're saying that they do look different?
There are 100% more attractive white men than other less attractive white men.
Okay, you got me there.
Anyway, Sleepy Hollow. So Ichabod's there, being not really saying his name until Dad Van Tassel, played by Dumbledore. I say his name. What's his name? I lost it. Oh yeah, Michael Gambon. Michael Gambon, he's just Dumbledore. Like it's his same voice, his same cadence. Like he's just a slightly more evil Dumbledore, although Dumbledore was pretty evil.
Dumbledore was dark. And
yes,
what I think is funny is I think I've only ever seen Michael Gambon in Harry Potter. So to see him in this, where he's like a happy-go-lucky dude, and he's like bright and cheery, I was like, is this Dumbledore on antidepressants? Maybe?
Yeah. This was before Dumbledore being Dumbledore.
Yeah.
But finally, Ichabod introduces himself. He's shown to his room. We kind of see the maid there. So apparently it's like a pretty famous British singer and actress too.
Yeah.
And she's married to someone famous. She's married to David Oyelowo. I think that's how you say his name.
Sure.
He's been a bunch of stuff. He's amazing. So Ichabod is being ushered to the room with all the conspirators. Conspirators? I think that's how you say it, right? Conspirators? And they're all in like the whiskey room. It looks like a whiskey room. And this is where you get all the lore dump of like the deaths. And at first, Ichabod is very scientific and very like, we need to find the motive, blah, blah. He's been introduced to, like I said, the conspirators, the main people. I'm just going to call them by how I know them. To Uncle Dudley, to Palpatine, Dumbledore is there. The guy from Beetlejuice is there. The dad from Beetlejuice, and obviously Dumbledore. And then the notary who he just looks evil. He's covering his eye, waiting for the line to say seeing is believing, and then he has one eye only. Anyway, because they're kind of saying, this was the work of the Headless Horseman. And you get some great nervous acting by Johnny Depp, but Ichabod doesn't believe it because he's a man of science. But he kind of does. And we kind of slowly find out why. This with the whole Oedipus complex thing that you made me realize. And I hate you for that. Why do you do this to me?
Jesus, the fact that you did not see that is nuts. It is so obvious.
I'm like, what is she talking about?
Is this because, do we get the first dream sequence of his mom here?
No, not yet. It's gonna because we first get like the flashback of the very sexy Christopher Walken. I want to make him. I want to fix him. I just want to fix him.
I love that.
I just want him to bite me a little bit with those sharpened teeth.
The teeth really ruined it for me. However, I don't know.
The spoilers, the kiss in the end, pretty hot.
Oh my god. Too squeamish.
But the wardrobe.
Yes.
Pretty cool. The I just got shocked and my hair is all standing up. Hairdo the Hessian. They never call him other than that, right? Like I think they just call him the Hessian.
Yeah, yep.
So we just get the backstory of the horseman, how he lost his head, literally. He was a Hessian hired by the British Army, which is part of the lore, the actual lore. And I think the biggest change really that they did is that Ichabod was always a teacher. And here he is, I guess, an investigator or a constable, actually, he said. So he's a constable. But he's always been a teacher. But the whole rivalry with Brom, Katrina, that's all there. So we get the flashback of the Hessian, and he's being chased down by the American army. This is in the Revolution or Independence era. Like this is 20 years ago. So we're in 1799. This is 1779, which is after the independence.
I think
Come on, American.
I think so. I was homeschooled. Sorry.
Come on. Oh, now you were homeschooled. Yeah. Okay. 1776. I know this. How do you not know this? Anyway, so here's our little fudge here and there. Yeah, be embarrassed.
Oh no, I'm not embarrassed. I was just gonna say I didn't have to like take a test, you know? I was
that fucking test. 300 questions that I memorized. You know what my questions were to get in?
What?
You know what? When they asked me who's the president, who's the vice president, and the other one, how many states are there in the United States? Those was the 3 questions in 2007. So
Jesus Christ.
this is how I got in and became a citizen with those 3 questions. Anyway, the Hessian is fleeing from the American army, and he comes across 2 girls who are going to become prominent later on. Why are they twins or sisters that look a lot alike? I thought it was going to come back at the end. I remember it differently, but it doesn't matter. One of the girls snaps a twig, and then that's how they found the Hessian, and they kill him, decapitate him, bury him, and that's how the legend was born. So
yeah, that kid's a fucking bitch. So
he's out for revenge. Yeah, we later found out she literally made a pact with the devil right there and then for some reason.
Yeah, she's an arc.
She's an arc. So Ichabod's not impressed. Well, he's nervous, but he's like, I'm a man of science. I have all my books. And Van Tassel just retorts with, this is the only book you need to read, and gives him a Bible. But it does, I know. How many times have people told this to you, Casey?
So many.
But you do get the Van Tassel and Van Garrett family tree, which is going to become relevant later. I want to have family tree like that.
No,
I don't have anything cool like that. Then we cut to later that night, and we're in the watchtower with I forget his name, but he's gonna become the first death. I do love that he's in the tower and there are some torches in the distance, and you see some fog, and literally some fog arms come out and snub. Did you see that? They snub a
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it was very cheesy 90s thing, but I love it. It's great. What I don't like about this movie is that the Headless Horseman is invincible and is all powerful until he isn't. So, because this guy was in a very protected watchtower, like it was, there were spikes all over. It looked pretty solid, wooden watchtower, and then we just hear a big crash. Somehow the horseman just toppled the whole thing, and then we just see him running down the woods.
Yeah, that is.
So he's running. Yeah, so he's running, and then the Headless Horseman cuts his head. We do see this movie has a lot of great heads are rolling down and then to the camera. Very cool prosthetics. And they look silly enough to not be super scary, but they look realistic enough to be a little bit believable. Like it doesn't take you out. They don't look like plastic heads.
This is true. This is correct.
Which is great. Cut to the morning, and then we see Ichabod renting a horse from what's his name? There's a lot of character, but this family of very cute redheads. Everyone's a redhead in this family, and the wife is a midwife, and then there's a very cute kid who's later going to become a very messed up death.
Rest in peace.
That was unnecessary. Anyway, Ichabod's renting the horse, and then he gets the news that they found another death. So this is the first death of the movie that we actually see. Well, we see but that's the one, but this is the first one after Ichabod gets to Sleepy Hollow.
It is.
He starts with 3 deaths, and there's so many more after that.
Exactly. This situation with the horse is hysterical because Ichabod is not used to horses. You can tell he's like struggling to get on the horse. He calls it a good horsey at one point, which is very funny. But fun fact, the horse's actual name was Goldeneye. And so Johnny Depp actually ended up adopting Goldeneye because apparently they were going to put it down. And so he saved it from death.
Why were they going to put him down? Well, he did look old as fuck, so maybe that's why.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So Ichabod gets there with his old as fuck horse and to examine the body. So we see the body without a head. Ichabod asks, have you moved the body? They're like, yeah. And he's like, you must never move the body. The other guy's like, why not? Because.
This It's
he has-
so
It's
great.
so good. It's so good. He has because he has no clue what he's doing. He's
No.
projecting, but very evidently he doesn't know what he's doing. He just
Yeah.
wants to project that he's a man of science, but he has zero experience.
He is a theoretical man. He is like
Yes.
all theory. But also, to be fair, he hasn't had any opportunity to like apply theory. So this is like one of the
This is
first
true.
moments. So, like, but this is peak, like, fake it till you make it. Like,
This is 100%.
yeah,
He's
inspirational.
not faking it well. Very inspirational, yes.
Yes.
By the way, everyone's dressed amazingly
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
I want what Palpatine. I'm not going to remember their actual character name, but
No.
I want to wear what Palpatine is wearing right now.
Yeah. One thing that I really liked is that this like group of guys, like,
Very English
they were,
Dutchman.
yeah, they were, conspiring, but they never treated Ichabod like shit. Like, I feel like that's a common trope of like, oh, this man of science is going to come in here, so we're going to treat him like he's a fucking idiot, and like all this, like we're gonna be really mean to him, and they were never mean to him.
They were very sympathetic. They were trying to help out. Like Uncle Dudley, he actually did give him some information, relevant information. He was feeling guilty. Like the conspiracy wasn't an evil conspiracy. They just knew or believed they were going to be targeted because I don't know if at this point, but like later on, they kind of knew that was why they were being targeted. But they were just scared, and they were always nice to Ichabod, which is nice. So Ichabod is examining the body. He takes out his flasks and scientific tools and all sorts of things. There's a beetle that comes out of the neck, which is really great. But he determines that traumatizing as a kid. Seriously.
I bet.
But he does determine that the wound was cauterized, but there's no blisters. There's no blood, which kind of explains why all of the bodies are very squishy.
Sure.
But there's a lot of blood in the body, but nothing actually comes out because it's the blade is from hell. It's the fires of hell. I do love the magnifying glass contraption that he has in his head. Very steampunk. Yeah. Was steampunk a thing around this time, or I feel like it was just starting to be a thing?
It became a thing during like the Industrial Revolution, so whenever the fuck that was.
What? No. No. Steampunk is a very much an early 2000s thing.
Well, yes, like as a trend, sure.
Yes. No, but like nobody dressed like steampunk is a idealized fiction of what the Revolution era was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that contraption 100% didn't exist back then.
Of course not.
That's a very steampunky looking thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't. I didn't know if you thought that steampunk was an actual real thing.
No, I just know it was based off of, or
Okay. Okay. Hey, we all have our gaps.
Fair enough. Mine is math, but
What? Oh yeah, Emma told me that she didn't know reindeers were actual animals. She thought they were fictitious.
That's so funny. That's good.
Anyway, so we cut to the funeral of the guard later on, and his kid is there, very sad. But he immediately offers his services to Ichabod because he wants to avenge his father. This is where Uncle Dudley very cryptically says, 4 graves but 5 victims. Yes. Which cool. That is a screenwriter line that nobody in real life would ever say.
Straight
but
up.
It's great.
Yeah.
So then after Uncle Dudley says the line, because at first Ichabod didn't want the kid as to help him because she didn't want to deal with the kid. But then right after that, he's like, all right, grab a shovel. So immediately, the first task that Ichabod has for the kid is to exhume his father's body.
Crazy. That's nuts.
That's nuts. But So Ichabod has the 4 bodies there. They're all exhumed. And he's kind of looking at examining them, and he notices that the widow, the one of the first deaths, doesn't have a head. Obviously, nobody has a head, but she has a weird wound on her womb. She has like a little slit, which is, if you think about it, super messed up.
For sure.
Ichabod kind of like, all right, I'm gonna examine this body, take it to the hospital, to the examining room. Actually, to the operating room. And it goes, and Emperor Palpatine, who is a physician in this town, is there, and Ichabod's like, all right, leave me alone. I'm gonna I need to do an operation. Which Emperor responds, operate? She's dead. Yeah. Okay. Cool. After a lot of squishy, bloody things happen, which she's been dead for a while. So this is why I think that the logic is that because it was kind of supernatural and it was cauterized, so all the blood kind of stayed liquid, but it's still a very squishy body for being dead for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Ichabod, after a few, this kind of reminds me of Naked Gun 3, the final insult.
Okay.
Where the Leslie Nielsen, the main guy, goes into the spur bank and does all the funny noises.
Yes.
Kind of same thing here, because you just hear a lot of not funny, not sexual, but very gross, squishy noises. And then Ichabod comes out super bloodied. Again, doesn't make sense because it's a body that's been dead for weeks at this point. But whatever. He determines that the Dudley's very cryptic 4 graves, 5 bodies thing was because she had a fetus. She had a baby. So that means that the Headless Horseman stabbed her and then reached in and then grabbed the tiny little fetus head out.
I think he just stabbed the fetus. I don't think he took the fetus out.
He takes the heads, so he should have taken the head.
I don't think he took the head of the fetus.
If he was that specific, I think he took the head.
I don't think he did. I think that's nuts.
This is an argument that I don't think we were going to have, but we're having it. Because he does messed up things later on. Like
this is true.
The Headless Horseman is a fucked up demon. We can call him a demon.
Yeah, but he's also controlled, so it's like,
yeah,
you know,
he's a devil if we go by D&D rules.
Sure.
D&D devils are all about law. Like devil is a lawful evil.
Okay.
A demon is a chaotic evil.
Oh.
So devils are all about contracts and all of that. Demons are all about just chaos and evil for evil's sake. Then we cut to later that night, and Ichabod is in his horsey, riding down the Beetlejuice bridge. It's the exact same bridge. And then he starts hearing the Headless Horseman. He starts hearing that. And then we finally see what we think is a Headless Horseman. But it's very clearly a dude with his cape raised up to cover his head. So you didn't believe at all that this was the real thing from the moment that you saw it. You're like, this is a prank.
At first, when I saw like the pumpkin head, sure. But then the way that it like rode past him, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I feel like it's similar enough that you could trick, especially kids. Yes, absolutely. And then you get the whole, he throws the pumpkin, which makes zero sense because the pumpkin head he has it in his hand. There's some light inside. It suddenly lights up more. There's more flames, and then he throws it at Ichabod. But did you notice that when he throws it, clearly the pumpkin is going down, but then cut to the pumpkin going straight to the camera? Like he kind of went whoop.
Maybe it's a supernatural pumpkin.
And well, we know that it's not because it's a prank.
I know, but you know what? Maybe it is.
But sure, that's your argument. Okay. Yeah. But this was for the trailer. I haven't seen the trailer in a while, but I feel like you would see this in the trailer of the funky head coming at the camera. Like, this is classic. And this is what kind of happens in the Disney short. Like, it's never revealed, but it's heavily implied that it was Brom pranking Ichabod. But yeah, it was prom. So this is where we get the first flashback with the mom.
Okay, so let's talk about it, because immediately as we see Christina Ricci, we see her blindfolded and she's doing the pickety, whatever, and she's reaching out. We get this flashback of the mom. She is blindfolded. She's going, Ichabod, Ichabod. And it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God.
I'm flipping you off right now because literally I did not make that connection until right now. Stop ruining this movie.
Oh. Ow.
Leave my sexual feelings alone, Casey.
Really much like to. Don't worry.
I did not make that connection at all. My brain was like, nope, this is too weird. Cutting it off.
Well, there you go.
My brain was like, what are you doing, Casey? We're protecting Jesus.
Fighting back.
Oh, man, I am red right now. I am sweating. God damn. Well, yeah, we had the fucking flashback. I hate this movie now.
Okay, but I have to say, this is crazy. Okay, so let's talk about Tim Burton.
I'm crying.
So sorry. So Ichabod's mom was played by Tim Burton's partner at the time. We later cheated on with like Helena Bonham Carter or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
She looks like the human version of the Corpse Bride. Straight up.
She does.
Right? I saw her. I was like, oh my God.
And the dress and everything.
Exactly. It's weird.
Oh,
I mean, it's not weird.
That's awesome.
It's so, I mean, like, you have Johnny Depp's like beautiful big eyes. You have Christina Ricci's big, beautiful eyes. Like, it's just, he likes big eyes. I get it. I appreciate it. It makes me feel great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the corpse, not the dress, because she's like has a surprise dress, but the blue, it's the blue, it's the hair. That yeah, wow. Tim Burton has issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely the aesthetic. Yeah, because the mom is kind of she's very sexual. She is.
Yeah.
With the kid. I hope that kid wasn't really there when the lady was acting.
Yeah. It's like definitely through the lens of how about this? It feels like it's through the lens and the framework of how a husband views his wife mothering, of like, this is attractive, rather than a child towards their mother, of like, oh, you're my mom.
Feels like a very toxic, which I've seen, like a very toxic husband being jealous of the child because of the closeness to the mom, and sexualizing that relationship. That yes, I can see that here. Yeah. I hate you, Casey, so much. No, you're not. But we do see a little bit of the background of, we start getting inklings that the mom was kind of like witchy. Also, obviously, with like the putting two together with like the Katrina character, and we do see a little bit of my mom doing figures in the fireplace, which will be kind of important later. But Ichabod wakes up and finds Katrina reading also witchy things. Why did I not make this connect? It was so obvious. I hated it so much.
It was your childhood. It was
my brain saying like, no, this is too weird, man.
Yeah.
I need to protect you. I need to protect you from this.
So sorry.
Just to put us back in a more normal place, I hated Christina Ricci's acting throughout the whole movie.
Very interesting.
She's 100% going to be. The problem was that she's going to be my worst actor. The problem was that there was no inflection. There was no her voice was never. She was always whispering. It wasn't dynamic at all. Yeah. She was trying to do this posh English pseudo accent, but it was more like just the way she was speaking. But she just felt nervous, and she felt like she needed to get a lot of words out really quick.
Yeah. I can see that.
Because she did have a lot of expositionary dialogue throughout the whole movie, which was not fair. But
yeah, I Okay, so despite the like real life age difference between Johnny Depp and
19
Katrina,
and 35. Super weird.
which is crazy. But okay, so in the movies, because Johnny Depp looks a lot younger, like so he looks like no more than 25 to me in this movie.
Ichabod is supposed to be in his very early 20s, right? Like he's just starting his career, like you say, faking it till he's making it. Like that's very early career shit.
She looks 19 in the movie. However, I have beef with this movie poster because this is giving Interview with a Vampire. She is giving child. She is giving 8-year-old. And I hate
that. I think that's part of her acting that bothered me. She was like the baby voice. She was very much the virgin trope.
Yeah.
Like the like super pure, childlike, but she's a woman. I can see that. I think that was part of what bugged me. Like she wasn't Padme. She was never strong, but because Padme was a lot of the times like very girly sometimes, but like she was always like she would kick your ass. This Katrina would never kick my ass.
No.
Speaking of kinks, anyway, you're learning way too much about me right now. I am so sorry, but it's kind of your fault. Anyway, Katrina and what?
I said this is my punishment for like revealing this to you.
Seriously, you deserve this. Katrina and Ichabod go off to this her old house because she kind of invites him to show him where she grew up. And she kind of reveals that she and her family grew up poor. The guy's kind of a self-made man, but she grew up in this little cottage. Will become relevant. There's a lot of seeding that kind of becomes relevant later on, but I feel like it's too much. There's a lot. They're trying to do a lot in the beginning. You have to remember so much.
Yeah, this is where this movie I feel fails. Is that like great movies know like what things to cut out, and, like what thing is like too much. And this like just had everything in it. It like reminds me of like when you're writing about characters, right? And you create their star sign and like you think about what their favorite meal is. And it's like you take that character profile that you're just supposed to know and like it's supposed to influence the writing, but like you decide to like reveal all of these facts in the movie itself. And it's just like unnecessary. We don't need this.
This is where we still have a lot of exposition dump from Katrina. This is what bugged me about Christina Ricci's performance. Everything was so rushed. She was like, you can see her struggling or actually just like memorizing a lot of pages in a script. Like I feel like Johnny Depp had cue cards behind him and she was just reading everything. And also her bleached eyebrows bug me.
Fair enough. I am not a big fan of bleached eyebrows in any sort of fashion context.
No. Aren't you glad that I didn't bleach my eyebrows?
Yeah. No. People told me whenever I went blonde the first time to bleach my eyebrows. And I was like, no, I don't fucking care about my eyebrows matching my hair. It's a nice contrast.
Anyway, don't bleach your eyebrows.
Straight up.
Or do. We will judge you, but do it because it's funny for us. Anyway, Ichabod is showing Katrina with bleached eyebrows the little birdie trick thingy.
She's like, "Oh my god, you do know magic!" And he's like, "No, you dumbass.
Actually,
it's fucking magic.
It's optical illusion." This is kind of like the early 2000s, late 90s nerdy. Oh, he's so nerdy. He doesn't get like this is like the big. I feel like this is the beginnings of the media portraying people on the spectrum in the wrong way. Like this is the big band Shelton.
Yes. No,
Pre-Shelton.
It's so funny that you mentioned that because whenever we're talking about him being like, well, no, it's an optical illusion. That reminded like there's something about that. I saw the trailer for the new season of Love on the Spectrum and like that just like immediately came to mind.
So that's it's an adorable show. It feels a little icky. It feels a little exploitative for me from the producer. Like it's not, but it feels like I don't know. I feel weird about it, and I don't know if it's a me issue or not. I'm sure they're getting paid as well, and they're full on consulting adults, but it feels a little exploitative.
I've never actually watched it. I am interested in trying it out this season because there are so many people from TikTok that I recognize on it, and so I'm interested to see how I feel about the framework.
Maybe this season has changed a little bit, but definitely the first. I don't know how many seasons there are out, but there's one couple that I'm specifically thinking about, and they kind of focus a lot on them in the first few seasons. So you should watch a couple of the episodes of the first few seasons. Let me know what you think.
What couple is it? Is it Abby?
I don't know names. I don't know. Blonde girl, guy, and another. I don't know. It's a blonde girl.
Okay, it might be Abby. I like them. They're cute.
Probably.
Anyway, he does the optical illusion trick.
So yeah, we get a little of exposition. We get a little of a cute, air quotes, scene between Katrina and Ichabod. Again, please name your children Ichabods. It's a great name.
I'll kick them in the face. Don't do it. I will judge you.
I will judge you. Ichabod's back at the village, and then he sees the 4 conspirators arguing. And Uncle Dursley, I was calling him Uncle Dudley, but it doesn't matter. Uncle Dursley, he's got it. He's leaving. He's like, it's too much. I feel guilty. I feel I'm worried. I need to leave. And it's
that Catholic guilt, you know?
Yeah, and he's kind of talking about like being guilty, feeling guilty about the widow that's was with child and all. And I don't know where it was just like, then I must deduce that you are the father. Where? Why? Where did that come from?
Absolutely come to the same conclusion of like, why the fuck do you know that there was a tiny little 8-week-old baby in her uterus? Chill.
Well, because he was a magistrate, right? Or like
he was the minister.
Minister. Oh yeah, or something.
Yeah, I think he was the religious guy. Was he not?
No, religious guy is the other dude that gets killed later. The one that sleeps with the lady.
Oh.
That's a minister guy.
Gotcha. See, okay. Well, still, that's not something I would want to reveal. Like, that's not somebody I would trust. That he's not a safe space.
No, well, because it comes to like, you're a man of law and science, blah blah. What do you feel? Because Uncle Dursley has this little cross symbol thingy to protect him, guard him from evil. While they're arguing, you start seeing fog. Creepy noises, creepy music around. It's happening. It's building up. And then you see, I think this is my favorite death, because then you see full on headless horseman. This is the first time you see them, the headless horseman, right? Like, right.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because you saw the prank headless horseman, and then you see this guy. You're like, oh, this is for real, because it's similar, but like, oh yeah, because CGI was, sorry to spoil the magic for you, Casey, but CGI was used to delete the head. Yeah. So it doesn't look like the shoulders are higher than it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we get the headless horseman, and okay, this is gonna sound mean, but Uncle Dursley is a big guy.
Yes.
With very little neck.
Yes.
I was thinking, how is he gonna chop out his head? Like,
oh my god!
But it turned out to be my favorite because he chops his head, and his head kind of does like not even a 360, like it just rolls in place and then tumbles down the hill straight into Ichabod's crotch.
Yes,
it's amazing.
Truly.
And then the headless horseman gallops and then just picks the head with his sword, and Ichabod faints.
And this
this is my favorite death.
It's a good death because it's also the one like where you realize like, oh, the headless horseman is coming for very specific people. It's not just mindless murder. Mindless because he does not have a mind.
No.
Yes.
No. Yeah, I can't think of anything better. I was
Yep.
trying.
Haha, got him.
The next day, Ichabod is freaking out. He's in
Yes.
his room. He won't leave his room. He has his
Mhm.
sheets over his
So
head.
great.
It's
So-
amazing panic acting. I love his and the interaction between him and Dumbledore.
Yes. So good.
Ichabod's like, it's real. And like, yeah, we know. We told you. But you don't understand. Headless Horseman, we've been telling you this all this time. We know.
He's not, once again, he's not a dick about it. He's just like,
No.
yeah. He's like, yes, Grandpa, let's go back to bed. Yes, we know. We know that it's a real headless horseman. We get it.
Yeah. Whatever. So, then we get to the dream. Another memory.
Is this the
with the
really
mom.
fucked up one?
No, this is
Okay.
the one where the mom is playing. It's just kind of spinning, and then she starts flying. And there's like, it's kind of beautiful, but in a creepy way, because that's
Mhm.
Danny Elfman and Tim Burton combination. Like
Mhm.
it's always in a minor key, so it's very fairy like music, but in that sort of minor key, and
Mhm.
you get a shot of like the mom boobs.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know how to
Mhm.
describe it, but she's just spinning, and then she starts. This is when she starts flying. So you don't know if it's the dream
Mhm.
or if it's like she really flew, because it's kind of ambiguous about
Mhm.
like all of that. But this is when he does remember, like you cut that very fairy like, very magical moment to the dad, Ichabod's dad, confronting the mom and
Mhm.
about the doodles, and then he like a Bible thumping
Mhm.
slants a Bible, and then this is where he takes her to the room, but we don't know what happened yet.
Mhm.
But I do like that the hallway is like very dark, very creepy, but then
Mhm.
it's like you can see very like stark, unnaturally white in the background.
Mhm.
But yeah, and you do get like a glimpse of what ultimately happened to the mom, like the Iron Maiden thing.
Bro, when
I
we
know.
get there, it's fucking nuts.
Also, I don't think I'm lying, but I've Future Jesus, please help me out. Future is gonna have a lot of homework.
Yeah.
I think there's no recorded case of an Iron Maiden being used.
Well, let's see. Present day Casey can look this up. Okay, no, there's no credible evidence that the Iron Maiden torture device was ever actually used.
Yeah, which is a good thing, because it's fucked up, and we'll get into it on what it is. But is to be fair, there are way worse things that medieval torture devices, like the pear. Don't look up the pear. Do not. Casey, do look up the pear, Casey.
Pair of English.
No.
Noted. All right. Let's move on.
Yep. There's also one, I forget the name of it, but it's also a mask used for chatty women or gossipy women. So it was basically a mask, like full on the head, and then a spike going through here, not perforating anything, but like just extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Anyway, medieval Catholics.
Yeah.
Were fucked up.
So true.
Ichabod wakes up. And he's thinking, he has his little cardinal play thingy, which I thought he gave to Katrina, but I guess not. And the remaining conspirators are downstairs. They're again arguing. They all think that Ichabod just left, but no, he's like, which is I think I like about this character. He's like, you know what? The evidence is overwhelming. It's a fucking demon devil thing. All right, I'm in. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's investigate. Because he's still the constable. It's still his mission.
Yeah, I mean, his key defining trait above his squeamishness, above everything else, is like his curiosity, right?
Yeah.
And he wants to know.
Yeah, exactly. I got a little lost on how they got there, but they decide to investigate the forest. So it's Ichabod and his little ward. What's his name?
Masbeth.
Masbeth. His squire. I'm gonna call him squire.
Yeah, that's fair.
So they're often in the forest, and then Masbeth kind of mentions, "Do you hear that?" Which I don't know why. This is one of my favorite lines ever. Whenever this happens in a movie, do you hear that? No, I don't hear anything. I love this.
It is one of those ones that you're like, all right, I'll give it to you. That's pretty cool. Because I was like, damn, what the fuck is wrong with the sound design? I don't hear anything. And then he's like, nothing. I was like, shit.
Have you ever been in the Cone of Silence in New Mexico? Okay, so you need to experience that. It's near New Mexico, Albuquerque, around where I grew up. El Paso, like around those places. But it's the Cone of Silence. It's in the middle of the desert. Like people think that the desert is lifeless, but no. There's always a lot of like insects and coyotes and rattlesnakes. Like there's always nature sounds. Wind, even. The Cone of Silence has none of that.
Why? Completely
silence. There's radio signals don't penetrate there. Like your cell phone gets fucked up. Like there's very signals that like your radio goes off. Like it just starts working. Like it's very, very creepy.
How like large is this like Cone of Silence?
Don't know. Person Jesus is looking it up.
Yeah.
It's a region of the Mapimi Biosphere Reserve in the Chihuahua Desert of New Mexico. It doesn't really say how big it is. It's the Mapimi Silence Zone. Well, it's saying that it's a subject of urban legend that claims it is an area where radio signals and any type of communications cannot be received.
So it might not even, you might have just
lied. Hey, this might be a false memory of mine, but I have that memory. I'm not going to hold onto it. They eventually get into further into the forest, and they stumble across this creepy cave. Were they looking for the witch? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
How?
They were looking for the resting place of the dude, of the horseman, of the Hessian. I think they got vibes from the cave, though.
I feel like there was a missing scene here somewhere. Like there should have been like a Ichabod looking through books and urban legends or something, and then they find something about a witch, because nobody ever mentioned a witch. She's just kind of there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. No, because I honestly, whenever we first see the witch, because he goes in the cave and he tells Masbeth to like hang back.
But when he's going into the cave, he's leading Masbeth first, using him as a human shield.
So funny.
Hilarious.
It looks like he's holding him hostage. It was
100%.
Yeah, quite hysterical. I thought the witch was Katrina at first.
Well, it's her sister. Spoilers.
No, it's not.
Yes.
It's the mom's sister. It's not.
Oh, not Katrina. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the lady sister.
Yeah.
Why that had. I feel like I'll get into that.
Yeah.
But they go into the witch's hut. Very fairy tale. I do love that up to this point, the movie is kind of pseudo-realistic. Like, you don't know if things... And then the Uncle Dursley's death happens, full-on fairy tale. We're in fairyland now.
Yeah.
And I really like this about this movie. But they're there. Obviously, the witch was expecting them because she's a witch. Ichabod knows she's a witch right away. So I feel like that's a scene is missing where he researched that.
Well, he knows what witches are like because of his mom. So I think it's like a vibe thing of like, I recognize this.
But like her mom was like a good witch. Like this is a creepy witch, but I guess.
Dude, I mean, she looks like a fucking witch, you know?
I guess. Well, fine. Yeah, you know what? I'll get to you because he's in all right, I'm in this world now.
Yeah.
This is what it is. But I would have, this is what I want to say. I would have liked a quick scene of him looking through the Van Tassel's library or something, and there's something about like a legend of the witch in the forest or something. So the witch kind of say, all right, you want some answers, and then she starts cuffling herself into some chains, which don't work at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's doing some witchy thing. She cuts the head off of a little bat. Inhales some smoke, and then you get a jump scare. Did you get scared?
No, I didn't.
Boo.
I did think it reminded me of, once again, like Corpse Bride or like any of like the non-real life Tim Burton movies where it was just like a little silly, goofy.
Like 5 years, if this movie was done 5 years before this,
mm-hmm.
or maybe 10 years,
mm-hmm.
this would have been a puppet, and I would have want that more than this bad CGI effect. Because you get into the camera, the eyes bulge, and there's like the tongue and everything.
Yeah.
I wish it could have been like a Beetlejuice type puppet.
I think I prefer the CGI because it's just so out of place and it's so stupid. And it's just like, all right. Like, I love it for the fact that it's stupid.
It's interesting because I think it's a generational thing. Because to me, I'm like, I want the physical thing. I want like I love CGI. Like, I am a big defender of CGI, but in this instance, I feel like the jankiness of a puppet would have been better for me. But you're looking at this 20 years later, and you're having the same feeling of janky CGI. Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. So the witch tells her that follow the Indian trail. And you'll find that she basically tells Ichabod where the resting place of the Hessian is.
Yeah.
Does she mention the tree?
Yes.
I don't remember. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They're off looking for the grave, and then Ichabod sees a figure in white at the distance. And it's kind of like creepy, kind of, again, very fairy-like. You can see that ghost, you don't know. Turns out it's Katrina. For no reason, on a white horse with a very beautiful cape.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Gorgeous cape.
Casey, let's bring capes back. Can we bring capes back? Can I just wear a cape? Like, I feel like women can wear capes sometimes, but men can't. And I want to wear a cape.
I feel like...
And a sword.
Y'all probably did that to yourselves, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of like how y'all ruined fedoras and like other shit too, you know?
First of all, fedoras aren't ruined.
Excuse you?
Because what you're thinking is not a fedora. Indiana Jones wears a fedora, and those are cool.
Yes, sure, yes. The little fucking Walmart short brim fedora.
Yeah, I forget that. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not a fedora. Honestly, I don't care. I don't
Fedora Mini, Fedora Junior.
Fedora. It's a millennial fedora.
Yes.
Yeah, millennials ruin a lot of things. I'm so sorry. Like bow ties. I love wearing bow ties.
I know. Wine.
Wine?
Yes, because every millennial woman loves wine and is like addicted to it. Wine mom. Wine
is that a millennial
night.
Thing?
It's a white millennial woman thing.
Well, I guess, but I didn't. I thought it was just like a. Yeah, I guess. What are you addicted to other than weed?
Yeah, I was like...
other than cocaine.
Methamphetamines.
See, this is how you know you've never done meth, because you just immediately said methamphetamines.
I know, which is, I think, just Adderall when you have the...
100%, so yes.
Which I am actually addicted to, because I do take it every single day, so my body will go through withdrawals if I go off of it.
Yeah, but you have...
It is legal. It's a legal subscription. Prescription.
See, this is how I know that our brains are melting together, because I don't know if you heard it, but I almost said subscription, and then you said it. You have an Adderall subscription.
Oh my god. Anyway...
Adderall.com/best year ever for your 20%.
Good RX.
Oh man, we need that. We need that.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine?
That'd be amazing.
You would be rich. Can you hear my dog too much? Is it distracting?
Pork. Your doggo, since you're a millennial.
You know what? No. I don't say doggo.
Proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
I do say fur baby.
That's fine. I'm
only
also
because
guilty.
That's just like working on the not working, volunteering and the shelter, like for babies. But yeah no, I don't say doggo. So Katrina has now joined the gang. So it's Katrina, what's the name? I keep forgetting the name of the Masbeth.
I don't know why that's the only name I can remember.
I know, and I can't remember young Masbeth.
I think it's because it's similar to Macbeth, but Masbeth is
a
like
little bit
lamer. And I was just like, it was so close to being cool, you know?
Also, grown-up Masbeth actor looks a lot alike, like Pee Wee Herman.
Please. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So young Pee Wee Herman, Ichabod, and Katrina are off looking for the grave and the tree, the evil tree. And they immediately find it. And it's a very cool looking tree. Like, this is why that tree is in the poster. Although that's kind of a spoiler, but what?
I'm so sorry. Okay, so I look at the actor that plays Masbeth.
Yeah.
And it was like movies and shows. And it was A Dangerous Man, Lawrence of Arabia, which, first of all, I didn't know it was like A Dangerous Man, Lawrence of Arabia. And I was like, oh, because I've never seen Lawrence of Arabia. And then I didn't realize who the main actor was. And so I was just like, what? But it's this little spin-off movie. That's so funny. I like Ralph Fiennes. Sorry, I was really excited about Ralph Fiennes.
Oh. Because I thought you were talking about the original Lawrence of Arabia, the 4-hour epic.
I also haven't seen that one.
It's actually very beautiful. Like, it is one of the best movies ever. Like, it's just a masterpiece. Like, it holds up. Like, it's slow. It's from the 60s, I think, or 50s, 60s.
Do you think I can watch it at 2 times speed like I did Sexo
No, don't do that.
Lagrimas?
No. First of all, excellent pronunciation.
Thank you.
No, just watch it in 2 parts. Or 3.
Could I watch it with like Subway Surfers on the side? You know? That was a good joke. Come on.
Gen Zer. Anyway, they're at the health tree. You just deflated.
I know. This is what happens whenever I ask if something's funny and nobody says yes.
Anyway.
Okay. The tree is very obvious.
They're at the health tree. Again, I love that Ichabod is like, yeah, let's just start hacking. Let's just start doing this.
Curiosity killed the cat. Curiosity did not kill Ichabod.
Well, it kind of killed the tree because blood starts spraying everywhere.
I was getting a little icked out by that.
It's so gooey. Everything is so gooey. Yeah. I love it. Because the blood is syrupy. It's thick. Yes. It's thick blood.
It's like ketchup. It's like the texture of ketchup, but it's like shinier.
It's like ketchup and sriracha and honey all together.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you get this texture.
Mm-hmm.
And then add some beet juice for the extra redness. Because it's kind of like again, I'm watching it. I used to, when I first saw it, I'm kind of trying to see if I have the DVD.
Yeah, you should.
But I feel like that was orange, so. Anyway. Ichabod is hacking at the exact place where he will find all of the heads.
Yeah, a little too convenient.
There wasn't a lot of anywhere else to really chop because there's like a lot of like the tree is all gnarly and twisted and the big roots. But there's like this one place where there's smaller roots and that's where he was chopping. But he sees all the heads. I think. One of the Masbeth's dad head is there, right?
Yeah, once again, let's just traumatize him. Not only does he take out his father's freshly buried grave, but just let's also see his decapitated head.
Yeah.
No trauma whatsoever.
No trauma, yeah. Ichabod sees the sword up in the tree. I don't know why he didn't see it first after he started chopping. They start digging, and after a while, they find the skeleton. So they found the grave. Then again, creepy music, thunder, all of that. And this really cool effect. I really like this effect of the horse just going through the portal.
Yeah.
And all of the heads kind of retracting into hell, I guess.
Yeah.
And then there's like you see the horse, the headless horseman with horse and everything jumping out of the tree through the blood and everything. Really cool.
And he doesn't like fuck with them. He's on a mission. He just got summoned. He's gonna go do his job. Yeah. I appreciate that.
One thing I didn't like was that I get that the horse is kind of a demon, so he's a specter, but it is physical, and I didn't like that the sword existed in two places at the same time. Because the Headless Horseman has the sword, but he can also see the same sword in the background in the grave. So I would have wished, because when the Headless Horseman is being summoned, you see a bunch of vines and branches covering the skeleton. So I would have wished that they kind of pull the sword and then...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I felt like that kind of looked like a mistake. And I don't know if it was, but it looks like a mistake.
Yeah, I can see that.
So then the Horseman is on a mission, which is the saddest and most fucked up mission, because this is where he just wipes out all the Changers.
Truly takes him out.
This is oh man. I knew they were gonna die from the very first scene that they were in, because they were too happy.
They were
too in love.
Considering the circumstances of the town in which they lived, too happy.
Yeah, no, but it's a mom, dad, and kid. The mom's a midwife, so that's why she's being targeted. And they're in the house. I do like a lot the little lamp thingy that the kid has.
It was very cute.
Yeah, well, very creepy, but yeah, very cool. Did you have something like... I had something like that.
I didn't. I had... The closest thing that I had were like glow-in-the-dark stars that you put up on your ceiling.
I had a Mickey Mouse thing that had a projection. Like, it was same principle, but with cells. So it would go around and it would project a spooky Mickey Mouse and Ghost film.
Wow.
A little short. It's in Disney Plus. It's one of my favorite shorts. I'll send it to you.
That's cute.
So kid is there, and then dad is in the dining room, whatever, and then everything starts trembling, and then you see like fire behind him, and then you get a close up from outside the house that says "knock before you enter." Cut to the Headless Horseman just exploding the door and entering the house. That's a great joke. I like that joke.
It is, yeah.
But the dad and the Horseman are fighting, and the mom like just tries to hide the kid, opens a secret compartment and puts the kid underneath the floor.
Immediately in this moment, I just thought about Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Anytime I see a scene where a kid goes or somebody goes under the floor, I'm just like...
I thought about what's the name? We might see this movie actually. It's from 1999. What's the name of this movie? Is it not in the top behind? Joan d'Arc with Mia Jovovich. There's a similar scene. It's a very fucked up scene too.
Oh.
Yeah, Headless Horseman immediately kills the dad. Chops his head off. I think it's the first time you see that he has a axe, because you always saw him with the sword, but he also has an axe. Oh, right before this, it is established that Brom and his goons are kind of the perimeter of the village. Like they're like the lookouts. Horrible lookouts, by the way. Did not see a thing.
No, until it was way too late.
Headless Horseman did not try to hide much. Headless Horseman enters the room with the mom, with the dad's head, and then the mom just gives up immediately. But she's trying to save the kid.
Yeah.
And then you cut to the kid's perspective underneath the floor, and then you just hear the mom's ketchup off rolls, and then you just see the kid looking at mom's eyes through the floorboards.
So fucking cool.
Fucked up! How dare you?
And that's why it's so cool. I was like, oh shit.
Horseman's about to leave, and you think, oh, all right, everything's done. But nope. Kids make some noise, and then the Horseman starts chopping the floor, and he immediately grabs the kid.
You know, like there's this thing, like it's like watching like the Princess Diana movies or movies about her, where you're like, damn, I could have done that. I could have suffered through that shit, and she couldn't, but I could do it. I feel like this way with like kids. Of like, if I were a 5-year-old and I was told to stay quiet, I bet I could have. Why these kids suck, you know?
I couldn't have. I would have immediately died. Nidia would have survived.
Yeah, I believe that. Back to the movie.
Back to the child death.
Yes.
Luckily, we don't see it, but we hear it.
Yeah.
And it alerts Brom. And this is Brom at his hottest. We haven't really talked about Brom, but he's hot.
Disagree.
Shut up.
I don't think he's attractive.
He's very attractive. Look at the jawline. Look at that. He's very hot. Shut up.
Okay.
So he has his coat. He has his big, thick rifle.
Mm-hmm.
And he sees the horseman. He fires, hits the horseman. I like that the horseman does get hit. Like he's not.
You
Jason
can slow
Voorhees,
him down. Yeah.
He does the Jason Voorhees thing where he kind of falls and stunts up, which I like. But you can kind of slow him down. But he's kind of ignoring Brom. And Brom's trying really hard to attack him, but all the horseman is defending himself.
This is what made me feel incredibly unattracted to Brom, is the fact that like he kept trying, and it's like, it's over. He's killed the people he needed to kill. He's trying to leave. You're stopping him. Let him go.
No. Good Brom. Kill him.
He can't.
He didn't know that.
I think after you shoot it a couple of times, there was a certain point, maybe not yet, but there's a certain point in a few seconds where it is very clear he's not going to be able to kill him.
I think it's clear to him too, because when Ichabod eventually arrives and Brom is still kind of fighting him, they actually have a really cool 2-on-1 fight. I really like that one.
Yeah.
And they're kind of overwhelming the horsemen a little bit. They're kind of winning, but they just can't.
Yeah.
But they do kind of realize they can. Horseman stabs Brom in the leg. But I feel like the horseman was pissed.
Yeah, because at this point, aggroed, like Brom aggroed the horseman. So he's like, you know what? I wasn't here to kill you, but I will fucking kill you now.
Well, now I will. So they run. Ichabod and Brom, like, we can't win. They run, and they go down the Beetlejuice bridge, and then they look back. The horseman is gone, but you hear the steps. I like this so much. And then boom, boom, and then the horseman just goes down the bridge behind them. Immediately takes out Ichabod. Conveniently, just to the shoulder. I like how he kind of stabs him and then picks him up. Makes no sense physically, because he would have just ripped her, but whatever. Yep. That's a cool move. Ichabod's gone. Brom is alone. Brom has like 2 cycles. What do you call it? Sickles?
Yeah, sickles.
And then Headless has the axe and the sword. And they're fighting. 2-handed, really cool fight. Love the choreography. Really good. There's a moment where Brom crosses his arms, and then the horseman crosses his arms across Brom's torso, and then just spins and then cuts him cleanly in half. Yeah. Very cool death. I love this. R.I.P. Brom. And then Ichabod's out. Cut to him in bed. Emperor Palpatine is there. Have we said that he's a physician? Yeah, we said that, right? But he's like, oh yeah, the wound is cauterized. He didn't lose any blood. He's fine. We see then Katrina in the kitchen brewing a potion. I think this is kind of like the first real confirmation that she is a witch. Because we got inklings, but not a lot of like, all right, she's into it. But no, this is like she's definitely brewing a potion. So she gives something to Ichabod to relax him, or so she says. And then this is where we get the final fucked up dream.
Yes.
Of little baby Ichabod in the very white, impossibly white church. And then you see a really cool shot of that, like in the middle of the pews, just coming into frame, obscuring the whole screen. Cut to him passing the screen, and it's a headless horseman now. It's not the dad, which I really like. That a unreliable narrator type of dream. Like you don't know if this is a dream, this is a memory, but this is very clearly a dream. But kind of a memory, and I like that there's that iffiness quality. But then this is when little baby Ichabod goes into the torture room. You can see all these torture devices, and then you see the Iron Maiden at the end of the room. And
you like hear his mom calling out for him, but like obviously she isn't. But it's the
Ichabod. So creepy. And you see a close up of the Iron Maiden And it just has a slit where you see the bloodied eyes of mom. Little baby Ichabod jumps, and he jumps into a torture chair that has spikes. We've seen Ichabod, grown-up Ichabod, with some sort of weird holes in his hands, like a scar holes. We realize it's these spikes, and so we know this really happened.
And his mom pops out of the Iron Maiden like a Jack-in-the-Box.
Yep. Did this scare you?
No.
Yeah. It was too, like, something's gonna happen, and it was. But I feel like this was more like the Shining homage or something.
Yes. Yeah. Because blood just like floods.
So much blood.
And like a kid at a water park, just blood all over Ichabod.
I don't know what water park you go to, but yeah. Ichabod wake up, Katrina is there, and he kind of tells his mom's story to his replacement lover mom, Katrina.
His mommy.
I hate this so much. To be fair, I never really had the hots for Christina Ricci here. Like I never as a kid really, like, I think it was a bleached eyebrows. Yeah,
bleached eyebrows. Not a vibe.
Super hot, Johnny Depp. I had the extreme hots more for Christopher Walken as a Hessian.
Crazy, but okay.
So it was Christopher Walken first, Brom, Ichabod, Emperor Palpatine.
Whoa!
Kind of slips in a little bit there.
Whoa! Okay, you said we're in sync. We are not in sync in that way.
Hey, I mean, completely in sync. We have, like, you're messing my brain sometimes, but no, we don't. No, very different. Although I do think Samuel is super cute, but
I agree.
Other than that,
yeah,
we can have different tastes in men and just weird kinks.
Oh my god.
Anyway, this is where Ichabod tells Katrina that her mom was an innocent child of nature, and his father was this evil Bible-thumping tyrant, and that's why he lost his faith. Decided to become a man of science. Why didn't he decide to become a pagan? I don't know, but he went for science.
Yeah.
He's like, why did I come here? I hated this place. I didn't want to remember all of this. Trina was like, oh, you didn't like anything about this place? And he's like, well, this was his kiss, I guess. She's very needy. He's very needy.
But he's like, sorry about Brom. She was like, yeah, I got over that.
I know. Immediately.
Yeah. She said, I cried my tears. I'm ready to move on. I think
in the story, and definitely in the Disney short, but she goes for Brom at the end. So in the story, Brom scares away Ichabod with the Headless Horseman prank, and Ichabod rides off and never seen again, and then Katrina ends up with Brom, which is
lame.
Lame. So I guess Ichabod goes back to sleep, wakes up, and the lady of the house is there taking care of him. She says that Katrina was there until morning and basically just taking a break. Ichabod is ready to continue his investigation, and I like he's writing on these notes. He's like, okay, so the Van Tassels. He's having his like red yarn moment. His Charlie Day. It's all connected, man. So he is connecting all that, like the magistrate. Like they all have something in common. And who must visit? The magistrate. This is where he takes out the Van Tassel family tree, and then he links the Van Tassels and the Van Garretts together. So he knows there's something there.
Have we seen his I Heart Katrina doodles yet?
No, I don't remember, because they were kind of weird, because they honestly, I didn't know if there was her doodles or his doodles, but it was his doodles. But at the end, he just kind of throws them away.
It's at some point where he's like, this is hopeless. Like, I've lost, like, he feels like there's no future with her. I just love the fucking doodles. Like, it's so Tim Burton of, like, the high school journal,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like Tim Burton himself drew those. Like, he definitely drew those, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like probably. Either that or he has the same prop master for, like, every single movie.
Yeah. So Ichabod and Mazbat go to the magistrate's office. And they're kind of looking around. I love this set. This is a very Harry Potter looking set.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the Ollivander's wand shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the magistrate is hiding in a closet for no fucking reason. And he's like, he kind of tells basically what happened. That there was
wait, hold on. He's not the magistrate. He's the notary.
Notary, yes. You're right. He's a notary. What's the difference? I don't know. Yeah, the one-eyed notary. Ooh, I just happened to stop it in a moment where the actor is looking directly at the camera, and it's very creepy when that happens.
Yeah.
So they go and visit the notary. They find the marriage certificate, and this is kind of where they found out there was a secret wedding. Okay, this is not where I get lost a little bit because it's a very convoluted thing.
Same. I have Wikipedia pulled up just in case. Because
so the widow who was with child she married one of the Van Tassels, but not the dad, one of the sons, right?
Van Garrett. She married a Van Garrett.
A Van Garrett. But not Katrina's dad.
No, because Katrina's dad is Van Tassel.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I was getting confused then. So yes, so Katrina and the dad Van Tassels. So the widow married the Van Garrett. So that made her and her son the beneficiaries of the Van Garretts. But how does that link it back to the Van Tassels?
So I think, hold on, let me confirm this. So there's something like the Van Tassels are homies with the Van Garretts in the sense of like, if the Van Garretts die and there's no heir, then everything goes to the Van Tassels.
Okay, just because, like, and there was no heir, so that's why the suspicion goes to Balthus, Katrina, and not really the mom at this point, but kind of.
Yeah.
The stepmom, I should say. I do love an evil stepmom. Spoilers, but I do love an evil stepmom. It's very Disney.
Yes, very Disney.
So they kind of discover-ish the plot. Now they know that the Van Tassels benefited from the death of the people that have been dying. So Ichabod suspects the dad, Dumbledore. I'll be calling him Dumbledore so much that I forgot his Van Tassel, but his Balthus Van Tassel. But he's Dumbledore. Ichabod goes back to his room, and Katrina's there. She's kind of suspiciously over all of Ichabod's notes and connections, and she's kind of eyeing him suspiciously also. Another nervous acting by Johnny Depp, where he sees a spider and he's scared of a spider, and this is where Mazbat tries to kill the spider, goes after it. Also, never kill a spider. I don't like killing spiders. The spider conveniently goes down underneath the bed, and Mazbat discovered there's some writing underneath the bed. It's an evil eye. So we think that Katrina is putting some sort of curse over Ichabod. Like he's been having all these dreams. We later find out that really she was trying to help him. It was not like an evil eye to ward off. Was that him meowing?
Yeah, her. No boy cats in this house.
Wait, are you both of your cats like girl cats? Oh, I thought one was a boy.
There you go.
Okay, do a clean one.
Okay. If she leaves me after this, I'm going to blame you.
Fair. All right, that's perfect. We can end the episode. Worth it. Katrina leaves, and then there's later that night they're still kind of researching, investigating, whatever. And then they spot a figure in the distance at night. Ichabod follows the figure into the creepy forest. He kind of tells Mazbat to kind of stay behind a little bit, so it's just Ichabod. And then that's where you see the Reverend and the lady Van Tassel Fornicating.
Yeah.
It's a great word. We should bring that word back.
Whatever you say.
It's a very judgy word.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like,
that's true.
Yeah, but it fits here because it is a man of the cloth and a married woman.
For shame.
She does something. This is kind of where the plot starts falling apart for me because she does something very obviously for the benefit of the audience as a misdirect. Because she cuts her hand, so now there's a wound on her hand, and she uses that to like put her blood over the guys, and it's again, it's kind of like put us it's a weird, kinky, sexy blood thing, but it's like later on you see why she did it, and it feels like very contrived.
Yeah. Do you think Armie Hammer loves this movie?
I don't know
or at
enough
least loves
about
this
that.
Scene. I just know that he did freaky shit with knives.
Ichabod sees that. Now he knows that the lady has some sort of wound on her hand because the plot needs that. Cut back to Ichabod's room. All of his paperwork is gone. All of his investigation is gone. And he goes immediately, beelines to the burnt out cabin that Katrina showed him earlier. For some reason, he knows immediately where to go to because the script said so. This is where the movie kind of things happen because the script needs things to happen.
Yeah.
So Katrina realized that Ichabod was going to blame her dad. She didn't really want to. She didn't think her dad. I don't think she cared if her dad was guilty or not. She just wanted to protect her dad. So she throws all of the evidence to the fire, destroying all of the Ichabod's evidence. And so that's kind of where, oh no, the love is gone. Shame. I didn't really care for this romance. Like I wasn't invested at all.
I was kind of sad. I was like, Katrina, justice. Come on, girl. Like the facts are facts.
But Christina Ricci just monotone monologue. It's like all of her. She's
got a little attention too. It's okay.
So boring. Everything. She's zero expression. I feel like she was trying. Johnny Depp knew what movie he was in. Everyone else also knew what movie they were in, especially Christopher Walken. Exactly knew what movie he was in.
I agree. Yeah.
Christina Ricci didn't.
I disagree.
She was in a different movie.
I disagree.
It's okay to be wrong, Casey.
Well, it's okay for you to be wrong, Jesus. Yeah. See?
No, this is what happens when you're old and 40. Your saliva turns against you. Then we're back at the Van Tassel's manor. Manor? Is the manor mentioned? Whatever.
Yeah.
And we see Lady Van Tassel cooking, and she confronts Ichabod. Like, I know you saw me. Please don't tell my husband. Conveniently, right there, Dumbledore, the husband, Baltus, comes in and then tells him that, oh yeah, we're all leaving. Everyone's leaving. By this point, the maid has been missing, and that's why the lady was taking care of Ichabod because the maid was gone.
And the notary kills himself.
Oh yeah, this is where Dumbledore tells them that notary hanged himself. They're all freaking out. Dumbledore sees the cut on Lady Van Tassel, and she's like, "Oh no, I'll just put some flowers." Forget what she said, but like I'm gonna go get some flowers to alleviate. And that's her excuse to go to the flower field. Dumbledore, it's only Dumbledore and her in that field. And then the fog comes in. We hear the hooves. We see Dumbledore's scary face. Cut to the church. So we don't see what happened, but we do see Van Tassel running and crying, and he's killed her. Ah!
No.
So they're all in the church. Dumbledore's freaking out. The headless horseman just killed his wife, and they're all in the church, and the horseman is right behind Dumbledore, but the horseman can't get in holy ground.
Yeah.
I also love this trope.
I fuck with it specifically in this movie because like they've made it very clear he is from hell.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes they use it and it's just like, oh, because you're a spooky thing. And it's like, I feel like a spooky thing should be able to go onto holy ground, you know? Because religion is kind of spooky in and of itself.
What's that Disney movie? The Disney witches movie. Hocus Pocus.
Oh, I've never seen
Hocus
it.
Pocus. It's a great movie.
I believe it.
I don't know if it is, but it's a good movie. Well, I don't know if
people
that is
love
either.
watching it during the Halloween season, so good enough for me.
It's a good movie. But yeah, kind of same thing. And I actually think Hocus Pocus was one of I think it was one of Doug Jones' first credits. Don't know who Doug Jones is. You've never seen him, but you have. He's an extremely skinny human who has a lot of physical acting. So a lot of monsters that are like Guillermo del Toro uses him a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is he in What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes, as like the vampire. Yeah.
The Baron Alphenaus.
Yeah. My sister met him, and she has a picture with him, and he's kind of leaning because my sister's like tiny, so he's kind of leaning on her like this. It's very cute.
It's adorable.
Yeah, she said that he was super nice, and he seems like a super nice dude.
Mm-hmm.
He was also the pale man in the Bond's Labyrinth.
Yes, which I haven't seen, but I've seen clips of it. Like I know of it. So sorry.
I feel like you need to watch it. It's a very beautiful but very sad movie. I don't know if you're gonna like it, but it's a very beautiful. It's right up there for Guillermo del Toro movies.
Yeah.
So like, if you want to see a Guillermo del Toro movie, watch that one.
I also need to still watch The Shape of Water, which Doug Jones is also in.
I haven't seen The Shape of Water. We can watch it together.
We could.
They're in the church. Ichabod realizes that the horseman can't go into the whole like around the church. The church perimeters conveniently even around the fence of where the church is. That's the edge, the fence. I do like that the horseman also kind of tests this because he throws the axe and the axe immediately disintegrates. Like I like that. I like that the horseman is a character. Like like he acts like a general. He was military. So he acts
was a baddie.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be my favorite scene because the horseman is circling the church. People are shooting at him. Maspeth is shooting at him. And then this is where Dumbledore and the remaining two conspirators start arguing.
I love this so much because this is where we figure out Dumbledore didn't know shit of what was going on.
No, he didn't know shit. Like
because Palpatine is about to confess, right?
Yeah.
And then the fucking priest is like, "Psych, bitch."
Kills him
with the fucking cross. Oh, but
it was kind of a lame death because he just bonks him on the head and immediately dies.
But I kind of love that.
The metaphor is there, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I love how silly it was of just like a little like boink.
Yeah. I don't know. It's Palpatine.
Yeah.
Well, he became Palpatine after this. He resurrected.
It's true.
While all this is happening, because the priest kills Palpatine, and then Dumbledore shoots the priest.
Yes.
And then Dumbledore is freaking out. He has a gun. He goes up to the what is it, like
pulpit, sort of
pulpit? Yeah, the pulpit. He goes up to the pulpit, conveniently placed right behind a huge window, like right in front of a huge window. So Dumbledore has a back to a window. While all this is happening, the Headless Horseman he's trying to figure out how to get it. So got to get in. So he grabs a rope. He grabs one of the fence's spikes, and then we got inside, and Dumbledore is freaking out, and then you just. Oh, well, also, while all this is happening, Katrina is in a trance dueling something.
Yeah.
In the floor. And then you just see a huge spike just going through Dumbledore's chest. So good.
It was.
Great death acting by Gambon.
Yeah.
Katrina freaks out. The horseman is just pulling him, running away. pulls him right to the edge where his head is right outside of the fence, so he can chop it off. That's all the horseman wants, the head. And Katrina sees that, faints, and then we see this cool pan of there's a lot of blood, and you see that she was doodling the same evil eye that she doodled underneath Ichabod's bed. Find out it's an evil eye to ward off evil, which is a real thing. Well, I don't know if it's real, but people do that.
Yeah.
This is where I think Ichabod is like, all right, so everyone's dead, so I guess it was Katrina all along.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna leave. I give up. I don't want to do this to her. I feel like Ichabod from the start would have just arrested her.
Yeah, but he has feelings for her now.
But yeah, and he sees so much shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I kind of get it. If Nita has asked me this, if I kill someone, I'm like, all right, where's the shovel? We're doing this
straight up. Yeah, I agree.
If you kill someone, okay, why? And if you convince me, okay,
no,
yeah, I wouldn't ask.
I fully agree.
I would ask.
Fair enough. You should ask me. I would ask you.
You don't trust me.
But if Samuel came in, I would be like, say less.
Yeah.
I'll grab the car.
So Ichabod thinks that Katrina killed everyone. Katrina is sleeping, but she kind of looks dead. And then while all this is happening, we see that the body of Lady Van Tassel is getting carried off, and then Ichabod is on his carriage. He's leaving, and Masbeth is kind of left behind. And he's like, "So you're gonna give up?" Ichabod's like, "Yeah, I need to leave." I don't know why I really, really, really like this carriage. Like I noticed this one. I like how old it looks. I like how creaky it was. Like if I can have horses in a carriage. When I move to Finland and buy a farm, this is the first thing I'm doing.
Love that.
I'm buying this.
That's an appropriate purchase.
And then I'll gonna show you the town in my carriage. Isn't that great? So yeah, Ichabod's leaving. He has his little spinny thingy. A light bulb goes on when he sees the hand and the death. And did you get why? Because I think it's just I feel like, again, the script happened.
Yeah, it was about the hand, and he was kind of like, that's weird. And then he's doing the thing and with the bird, and he's like, an optical illusion.
I guess.
And then, does he also pull out the book that Katrina gave him at this point?
He does, yes. So this is where he finds out that she was actually doing like a thing to ward off evil. So she must be innocent, right?
Yeah.
So he tells the guy from the carriage to go back. So he goes to the mortuary, sees Mom Van Tassel, sees Lady Van Tassel, examines her hand, realizes that the cut was done post-mortem. So it was done after death. And then cut to Katrina looking sad, and then who's behind Katrina is the Lady Van Tassel. She's alive.
Dun, dun, dun.
She was behind this all along. Makes no sense.
How does it not make any sense?
She didn't have to fake her death. Why did she fake her death? Also, if the point was to legally everything goes down to her, if she's dead, how would it legally be going down to her because she's dead? If she suddenly appears alive, everyone's like, "Oh, you obviously murdered everyone to get this. We're not going to give it to you." She would already
have everything. I think she only did it to throw Crane off because I think she knew that Ichabod was figuring shit out.
Yeah, but the whole town thinks that she's dead. So, or is it the point that only Katrina's in this whole town now? Because there were other people around.
Yeah.
I flimsy. No, I don't buy it. I don't like
Fair
this.
Enough. No, I'll give it to you.
Great villain. I'm ready to forgive all of this because she's a great villain.
Interesting.
She does a really good evil monologue. She does the best. It was my plan all along monologue.
She was going to be my worst actor ever until she became evil. And I was like, okay.
Because everything before that was on purpose. Like she
Yeah.
was like furniture. She was like don't pay attention to me. I'm just here. But yeah, so Katrina faints, and then for some reason, this is where again things happen because the script wants things to happen. But this is when the Lady Van Tassel takes Katrina to this creepy mill. I think this is also like a nod to the short, whatever, because I think it's a windmill also. But I think it's a windmill, and she's preparing her enchantment thing. We see the Headless Horseman head skull with the razor teeth. She's summoning the Headless Horseman to kill Katrina, who's there. Huntsman rides off. Again, you see the sword left behind, but he also has the sword. That still bugs me. This is where you get the amazing monologue. It was me all along. I found out about the marriage, so everything from the Vanguards was gonna go to the unborn child. So I had to make my move. So everything went to me.
She hates the Vanguards.
She gets the Vanguards. Oh yeah, because that burned out a cabin. Turns out it was her and her family. She tells her backstory. She was one of the twins, one of the siblings from the beginning, the one that snapped the twig, and how the Headless Horseman got killed. And then she says that this is where she made the pact with the devil for some reason. She's like laying it thick, but it's amazing.
Yeah, because she made the pact with the devil because I think at this point, because before the Van Tassels, like her family were the Van Tassels, and then the Vanguards were like, nah, Van Tassels are cooler, get out. And then I think she saw the Headless Horseman, and as a young child was smart enough to be like, I'm going to use you. So I'm going to make sure that you die here so that I can make a pact with Satan and resurrect you and get my fucking revenge.
Because she had been like making her way into that position, because it's implied, but not really said, that she killed Katrina's mom, right?
No, she confesses.
She said this? Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, who killed your mom? It was me.
She was dying to tell her everything. She just told someone, because she kills. She said, like, I killed him. I knew about all the deaths. I blackmail Palpatine because of his affairs. I killed the maid and made her. So the cut was the body that we saw with the cut was the maid's. Why wasn't this her sister? It should have been her sister.
No, because her sister was all like weird and witchy and like disfigured.
But not really. Like it was kind of disfigured in the face, but why was there a sister then? Like I feel like this could have been her sister because she looks similar enough, or at least the body.
Because you needed a strong enough witch to help Ichabod find out where the burial site is for the Headless Horseman. And you needed somebody who knew who was there when it all happened.
But then why didn't the sister tell Ichabod, oh, by the way, I have a sister, she might be evil? That
part I don't know.
And also, why did because while Lady Van Tassel's monologuing all of this to Katrina, by the way, my sister has died recently. Why? Why did she kill her sister now?
Because her sister helped Ichabod. So she's like, traitor.
But how did she know? I feel like she knew things she shouldn't have known.
But I think that's just because she's a witch.
No, it's because the script said so.
Okay,
she got the script.
Fine.
This is what bugs me. There's there's things that you we know because we're watching the movie. But how do you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Finally, Ichabod arrives, and also the Headless Horseman arrives.
Yes.
And, this actress is just having fun now. She's like full on evil, cackling. She hides the Headless Horseman's skull behind her.
Because the Headless Horseman he's like tactical when it comes to killing people. He's not smart. It's not like he can sense where his skull is. He's just like, I don't fucking have it.
He sees, like his specter sees as if he had eyes and a head and everything. But because he sees from his perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
This is Cyberpunk 2077. This is not The Witcher. This is not third person. This is first person.
Yes.
By the way, how excited are you to go play Cyberpunk after this?
I'm very excited. Samuel also has some salmon for me upstairs. And we're close to the end of this.
I had salmon yesterday.
Oh, I will say, this is the longest fucking chase scene I have ever seen in a goddamn movie. So much so that my fun fact is that this final chase sequence took 3 weeks to film. And part of that, I believe, is because Johnny Depp did do all of his own stunts.
Yes.
So at one point, we get close to it. He is being dragged by a horse and was wearing bulletproof clothing underneath his wardrobe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I do want to get to that chase scene really, because I like it and I hate it at the same time.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, they're trying to escape the Headless Horseman through the windmill. They go up. They go through like the roof, and Ichabod throws like a lamp, and then everything is in flames. They escape the windmill, and then for no fucking reason, the whole thing explodes.
Like a goddamn Christopher Nolan Oppenheimer visual effect.
Because it was grain stored there. It's not powder. Why did it explode?
It was, the explosion was very weird.
Yeah. Masbeth asks, is he dead? And Ichabod, again, a good line of like, that's a problem. He's always been dead.
Yeah, that is a good line.
Good line. But yeah, like, is this, I haven't done a lot of research, as you all know, we don't do a lot of research.
Correct. Vibes.
But is this Christopher Walken's body, or is this a stunt actor?
This is a stunt actor.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, because I would think so. Great physical performance.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. He's just gonna burst out of the door, and like everything he does is amazing. Yeah, he's definitely like a pro.
Yeah.
Then the chase happens. Very long chase. And this is it's a lot of cool things, but like, you know what I said, like at the beginning, the Headless Horseman is all powerful until he isn't, and this is where he isn't. Again, things happen because the script needed to happen. Beginning of the movie, Headless Horseman would immediately killed everyone here. Yeah, but he was fumbling around. It was fun. It was fun to see.
It was like a Tom and Jerry like sequence.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, how many times can they throw this guy off of something? Like, he just keeps getting delayed over and over.
And I do like there's some parts where the Headless Horseman gets thrown off of the carriage, and then his horse he grabs his horse, and he just pulls by the gun, and so you see just him, the horse, Headless Horseman being dragged by the horse, and just he's using that to get momentum. But they end up with like a big carriage explosion. I mean, not explosion, but he falls over the Headless Horseman, but they happen just very fucking conveniently end up in the tree from hell. The same tree. They weren't going specifically that way. They just ended up there.
Yeah. But she was there, right? So, why was she there?
Exactly. Because the script said it, so...
Fair enough.
So yeah, for some fucking reason, the Lady Van Tassel is also there. She knew they were going there. Again, very convenient. Finally, the Headless Horseman arrives, and Lady Van Tassel grabs Katrina, and she's here, come get her, blah, blah. And the Lady Van Tassel has the Headless Horseman's head in a little sack around her waist. Ichabod sees this, and he's trying to get the head. The Headless Horseman slowly walks up to Katrina, grabs her very slowly. Super also slowly raises his hand to cut her head. Super dramatic. Ichabod and Lady are wrestling over the skull. Finally, Masbeth helps, and then Ichabod grabs the skull. And I do like a lot this Ichabod just yells, "Horseman!" Horseman turns and then throws his skull.
Yeah.
For 1999, this effect is fucking amazing.
I agree. It's great.
It's almost flawless. There's some jank, and it's obscured with really good lighting. Like the thing about, I don't know if you've seen this, but like, why is visual effects worse now than in the 90s? And the truth is that they're not. But because everything was new, everything was lit differently, and the effects were obscure. So there's a few cuts here that obscure some transformation and some effects. Yeah, but they work really, really well because the Headless Horseman puts his skull over his head, and then you see all the sinew and the tissues and the muscles start forming, and it looks painful. It looks amazing. But it's slowly forming into the very hot Christopher Walken. I don't know why. I just find him extremely attractive, but I do. I'm sorry.
It's so funny.
And then we get no more Headless Horseman. We get Christopher Walken now.
Yeah, and he's pissed.
And he's pissed. Oh, because this is where he doesn't give a shit about anyone anymore. He's pissed at Lady Van Tassel, but he lets Katrina go, and they reunite. I forgot to mention that at one point, Lady Van Tassel shoots Ichabod in the chest, and something stops it. And this is where we find out that the book that Katrina gave him stopped it. I hate, but also find this trope kind of cute.
It's adorable.
I think this is the only time that this would actually work, because those guns weren't that powerful. So I feel like it could stop one of those little pellets.
Yeah.
A modern gun, and I've seen it in a lot of movies, that wouldn't, it would just go through the book.
Yeah.
But yes, the Hessian, he's not the Headless Horseman anymore. The Hessian is fucking pissed.
Yes.
And then he goes to his horse, grabs the Lady Van Tassel, and she's fainted at this point. Waits for her to wake up, and then she kind of looks, because he has her kind of cradled, and she just slowly looks at Christopher Walken, and he's like, "What's up? What you doing?"
Yeah.
So much Riz, as you would say, and kisses her in the mouth.
Yeah.
Now, I'm all about consent, but it was kind of hot.
Yeah, I bet you're jealous of her. Yeah.
A little bit. Bite me, Christopher Walken, bite me. And then they go into the trio from hell, through the roots. It's just a big splash of blood. And then you just see the hand of Lady Van Tassel creepily beckoning them to go into hell. And Ichabod faints.
Yep.
Kiss. Amazing. And then we cut to them going into New York. They cut to New York. I think this is the first time that it's actually daylight and bright and kind of fun. Different lighting, and it's winter. I'm guessing it's like close to Christmas. And you kind of see them going into New York. And the end, happy ending.
Yay!
And all that. Yay! How do you feel?
I feel like I'm gonna add this to my October movie reel.
Right?
Yeah. Like I think I would rewatch this, and I never rewatch movies except for Practical Magic because it's an October movie.
It's a great movie. I haven't seen that in a while, but
it's one of my favorite movies for sure.
I just don't like the burping, the throw up scene. Wait, no, I'm thinking about something else. I'm thinking about another movie, which one's Practical Magic?
With Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman.
Oh yeah. There's a scene where they make the lady from Alien, the crazy lady, throw up seeds.
No, you don't.
Yes.
Not in Practical Magic.
Oh wait, no, I'm not. Yeah, hold on. Witches of Eastwick. Yeah. I'm thinking about Witches of Eastwick, not Practical Magic.
Have you seen Practical Magic?
I have not.
Okay, next time I have a movie, a personal favorite, we're gonna watch that one.
Yes. Okay. Witches of Eastwick. That's it's what's his name? Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Susan Sarandon, and Cher.
Nice.
And those three are the witches, and he's kind of like warlock, devil, maybe kind of person. Anyway, I really like this movie. I'm glad you liked it. I didn't know.
I did like it.
I didn't know what you were gonna think about it. Like I said, I maybe have overhyped it because I told you how great it was. It's not a perfect movie, but it's so much fun.
Yeah, I agree. It is fun.
All right, let's do some awards.
Yes.
So we have Best Actor Ever, Worst Actor Ever, and Best Scene Ever. Casey, who's the best actor ever? And why is it Johnny Depp?
It is Johnny Depp because he's like this.
Yeah,
his fainting alone is amazing.
Like Gambling was great. Even Lady Van Tassel, Miranda Richardson, she ended up being great too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he I would say he carried this movie if everyone was bad in this movie, but most people were good. But he really made this movie amazing.
Yeah.
Worst actor ever.
I don't know. Like, I really don't.
I feel, not to put words in your mouth, but
Yeah.
I kind of maybe will. You could probably give it to, and I hate to say this, Casper Van Dien, Brom.
I hear you. I think I'll actually probably give it to like one of the Gingers. Just like, just put one of them in.
Okay.
Maybe the...
That's so sad. That was the saddest death.
It was. But maybe put in the husband, because the wife was kind of cool. The wife was cool. Yeah. The kid was fine. Yeah. The husband was forgettable.
The kid had great panic look. Yeah. Like great panic acting.
The wife was very loving.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll be okay with that. Christina Ricci for me.
Yeah, I know.
I just did not like her acting at all. It was meh. To be fair, she was 19. Although she already did Casper. She was great in Casper. I actually don't remember.
I'm convinced it's the directing. The direction that they gave her is what killed her.
I think I'm going to insist that she was in a different movie than everyone else. She thought she was in Pride and Prejudice. She wasn't.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, fair enough.
Best scene ever.
Never move a dead body. Why? Because.
Yeah, the whole.
It's so good. Yeah,
it's so good. Close second for me, but I'm gonna get to the church scene.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very chaotic, but very well directed.
Very well choreographed, and I'm glad that you're coming into my world of best scene ever, where we pick a scene where there's a nice little bow at the end. And yours was the joke, and mine was the death of Dumbledore.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah, great. Awesome.
Love it.
Casey, very important question.
Yes.
Solely based on this movie, was 1999 the best year ever for movies?
Hell yeah.
Yay! I honestly thought it was going to be maybe yes, but probably no from you. I'm surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised.
I was pleasantly surprised by this movie, so there you go.
Awesome. So what are we going to watch next week?
Wait, no, you have to answer the question.
I said yes.
Okay.
Best movie ever. Wouldn't it be great if I just said, no, I didn't like it. Worst movie ever.
I wouldn't put it past you. You would do that.
No. All right. Let's see what we're watching next week. 95. Detroit Rock City. What the hell is that?
I'm excited.
Wait, is that Winona Ryder? Oh, it's a period movie from the 70s.
Melanie Linsky's in it. Hell yeah.
Is that the kid from Terminator 2?
I don't know. I've never seen Terminator.
Casey, do this to me. Yeah. Edward Furlong. Oh, Natasha Lyonne?
Okay.
Nice. It's going to be... Wait, you know who Natasha Lyonne is?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be our second Melanie Linsky movie. That's awesome.
Woohoo!
Okay. They might be good. Gene Simmons is in it too. Interesting. Sam Huntington. That guy was going to be famous and then he wasn't.
Yikes. Well, it's a musical.
It's a music?
Or it's a comedy musical.
Well...
It's a Kiss tribute band.
Okay. So it's not really a musical. Because
I think, yeah.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert is also kind of a comedy musical.
Yeah, that's fair.
So this might be something like that. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So next week it's going to be Detroit Rock City. I'm excited. We're excited. It's going to be fun. Yay! Bye!
Bye!
If you're listening to this, kudos, congratulations, and we love you because I think this is the longest episode. Normally, I would probably split it into two, but I decided to keep it at one. If you prefer two, please let us know. If you are okay with one, please let us know. Also, let us know, does Christopher Walken's Headless Horseman belong in RuPaul's Drag Race? As we heard from our very own Casey's Glenn's letterbox. And you can do so emailing us to bestyeareverpod@gmail.com. You can also DM us at bestyearever_pod on Instagram. Message us on Blue Sky, Best Year Ever. We're also on YouTube as Best Year Ever Pod. Please subscribe, rate, and follow us on Apple and Spotify.